Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Château de la Grifferaie, Season 2, Episode 11, The Birds and the Bees. Okay, don't worry. We're not going where you think we're going. It's clickbait. It's clickbait. You know when they try to get you to watch something by having a provocative title. No, they're literal bees, literal birds. So it's not too exciting. But here we are, ready for another episode.
Here we are. Welcome to tea time. So in France, there's a tradition that some say these days it's mostly just for kids after school, but I still see people meeting in the afternoon, late afternoon, and they pause gourmand, it's called, or a gourmet pause, or a gourmet break, or a little taste in the afternoon. So it's a little snack, a little tea time. And we used to do that with our students too. I think it's a fun time after class. We would stop or pause gourmand.
Yeah, they love it.
So
we thought we try to inject some class into this video series. So
we're trying out the little tea set.
Yeah, a little tea set from the Brocante. $10?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like in
Limoges.
Fact, Limoges, whatever that is.
Made in France.
What is Limoges?
Very famous porcelain china.
I'm not up on my famous porcelain china. But we'll show you a clip of this set. But it's unbelievable what you can find for $10. It's a shame we're not newlyweds, because this would be a great place to be new. You get all your china and all your cool stuff, cutlery. I guess we're basically newlyweds because we couldn't move our stuff over here.
I know, it's quite something when you I was thinking about this week actually, about how this has been the strangest move in. Like, we've owned a few different houses. And it's just the strangest thing, because normally you get all your stuff, you kind of settle in, you figure out where the stuff goes. Sometimes you can't find a place because the house is different. And this has just been so strange, because we've literally had to start from zero, literally zero, like whatever we had in our suitcase. Every once in a while, I still try to trickle some things over.
Yeah.
But, it's a very strange nesting or non-nesting thing for me.
It's different. It's harder for you than for me, because Leslie has some things that she really does love. Although for me, tools, I'm like, well, I guess we need a sledgehammer. Or this week, we're very excited. We have our Wisconsin friends coming to help us out tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, can't wait.
So we have some projects. We're going to maybe start working on some windows. As you may know, if you've looked around the chateau, we have some windows that are in really bad shape. Even though I did the triage when we first got here and put in 46 new panes, there's still some windows that are pretty wrecked. And so we're going to that's one of the things on a huge list of things we're going to do. And so they need some tools for that. And so I went up and bought a cheap router and a cheap jigsaw, and we got a bit of a table saw. And because, again, you're starting from scratch.
Yeah, all my painting tools are at home.
Yeah.
So your favorite ladder or any of your favorite brushes, they just are at home.
Yeah. And it makes it even harder, because we've talked many times about how this whole thing is a faith endeavor. Like, we're trusting God that it's going to work out, and that kids are going to come, students are going to come, and that it doesn't end in too much financial disaster for us. Too much, a little bit would be all right. But what makes it even scarier is every time you buy something, you're thinking, well, we can't bring this back to North America. So if the idea goes belly up, it's one more thing that
we're out.
Yeah, we're up. So it's you take the steps, and then you take the steps. Okay, lots of things we want to talk about, and so we're going to do them in shots just to keep the video interesting. So get ready for shot one. Probably the biggest thing this week was getting ready for our team of helpers. Now, we have some friends from Wisconsin. Again, they saw the videos, and they're from a church in Wisconsin, and they were kind of excited about the project. And so we started talking by email. And they said, "Hey, what if we brought a team out?" We said, "That'd be great." And originally it was going to be a bigger team, but then of course COVID noof, which were our old friend that doesn't seem to ever want to leave. So that made it hard to get a big group. So there's only 6 of them. But then we actually have a couple of friends who are living in France who went to the same school in Canada. We did Briarcrest, so that's really exciting that they're going to join us too.
That is.
And so a lot of our preparation this week was getting ready for it.
It was, but you know what? That is one of the cool things about this whole experience of documenting the journey as we go. We've met a lot of people through the years on different places that we've lived, but this has been another whole opening of meeting people and getting to know new people. And it's just kind of cool that we've talked back and forth so many times, I kind of feel like I already know them. But we'll officially meet tomorrow.
Yeah, so we got some things like, again, I had a chainsaw. We got that from the Patreon. Thank you very much, Patreon guys.
Oh, my goodness.
Also, we've got a weed whip, and then we went out and bought a wood chipper. And this thing's amazing. It just made sense to get one.
It does. So the amount of trees that we have to cut down and prune and get rid of. We have a lot of trees that have just decided to pop up and are kind of shielding all the other cool trees that we're starting to see in amongst everything. And we, instead of just chopping it up and taking it to the dump.
Well, how would you even do that? You need to rent a truck.
I don't know. We don't have a trailer. No. We don't have anything to pull a trailer. Yeah. Again, it's all those things that you don't have here.
We'd have to burn it.
Well, yeah, that would take a long time. So the good news is we have a lot of paths we want to make. We have a lot of flower beds that need mulch that I don't really see a lot of mulch here.
No.
So we're going to make our own.
Yeah, we're generally pretty careful with money, and again, I've said before, we're a little bit cheap, so I don't usually like to buy big, expensive things like wood chippers, but it just made sense. We have all kinds of woods and suckers that have grown up, and we have places where we need stuff. Oh, look at that, we got a refill on the Pause Gourmand. So it just makes sense. Anyways, it's pretty cool. You stick the wood in there, it chops it up. Free mulch.
Free mulch. I know. I'm excited about it, actually.
And some tools. And you did a lot of cleaning this week.
A lot of cleaning. Found a few extra little things. Like I said before, when you move somewhere, you kind of want to nest and make it your own. And before our students came, it was all about literally just getting their bedrooms to some degree of goodness so that they could come and enjoy. And we didn't have a lot of furniture yet. But you know what? In the last month, we found little bits of this and that. And I'm finally getting the living room to sort of a point where it feels like a living room. And I kind of have the powder room to the point where it sort of feels like a powder room. We haven't done painting or wallpaper.
No, it's so difficult.
Or anything yet. But you know what? A new mirror and a new light does wonders.
It helps a ton.
Just off the get-go.
I saw somebody on social media was talking about describing ADHD, which, by the way, I was diagnosed with as a kid. And I just thought, this is probably the world's worst place for an ADHD kind of person, because you start on one job and you see something else and you see something else. And
it's the squirrel mentality from the movie.
Yeah, but again, we're being pragmatic, and we're taking steps forward. So we're excited to have them come, and hopefully we get some good weather. Also, we've run into some bees, hence the title, The Birds and the Bees.
Maybe they're bees.
Okay, this is the debate. First of all, it all started a couple weeks ago when the roofers were here. Remember the roofers?
Last week?
Yeah, I think it was. Wow, crazy. And so, he came up to me. One of the roofer gentlemen came up to me and said, and he was typing into his phone, and then he showed me a video, and there's like bees flying around up on the roof, way the heck up there, on where the first chimney came down. That's if you're looking from the front, the front left. And then he typed out bees, and he mentioned it a couple times because he wanted me to get the idea. So for one, they couldn't get up there and change those shingles, but for two, we started to think, how are we gonna deal with that? Because it's again 70, 80 feet up in the air. We can't see it from the attic. We're walking around the attic, we can't see it. From the outside, they couldn't see it, so it's possible that they're making a hive in the old chimney that was taken down. Maybe there's a void there that they're working with, and so they were thinking maybe we can get someone to come take the beehive, because of course everybody likes bees and bees do good things for the world. But I'm thinking, how are they going to get up there?
I don't know.
So it's a challenge. So we thought that was tricky, but then we found some type of hive, which I thought was a beehive. Maybe is a beehive, maybe isn't. Right over our front door. In fact, here is the powerful video of me going after it. Yesterday, was it, Les? She says yesterday.
I think it happened overnight.
Leslie says she thinks it happened overnight, but very quickly in any case. Okay, so beautiful yard, here it is. And then we looked up at our doorways and we saw this guy. Now, it looks to me like a wasp nest, though the little guys going in and out look a lot like bees. So I am a little bit confused, but I'm afraid whichever they are, they're not going to be able to stay there. So in one moment here, I am going to take my life in my hands, and we're gonna take this big web knocker downer. Oh, you're gonna be on camera, Bess. There she is. We're both working today, no fanciness for us. I'm gonna take this big pole. Oh, that's not very good video, we're too zoomed in. Let's zoom out, there we go. And I'm gonna try to knock this bad boy down, and then I'm gonna run like crazy. And then maybe Besley will be at the back gate to rescue me. Okay, so pray for me while you're watching. We're shooting this live, so I will give you a first-hand view. Setting up the camera, we're shooting this all in one shot here. Boom, okay, you're stationary. Let's back up a little bit so you can see me. Not that I am very beautiful, but it will make for interesting video. How badly will I get stung? Hopefully not. You know, you feel bad. I mean, you'd like to, I don't know. We're not going to spray them with chemicals and kill them. So at least they can get away and make another home somewhere else. But we unfortunately are not willing to share our front door with wasps. Okay, cheer for me. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. If not, we'll do some narration. Wasn't that powerful? Powerful video. But Leslie's not so sure it's bees. She doesn't think it's bees.
We've done a little research, and I got some really good pictures of some of them on the ground.
Yep.
So you go to the internet and find out what kind of flying things are in France. And I'm pretty sure, I think, from what our picture looks like with what's on the internet and what the hive looked like, or the little house that they built, which seemed kind of like it was overnight that they built that, is an Asian hornet. They look just like it. Their little nest looked just like it.
Yeah. So Asian hornets,
So that's gotta be
somehow
worse.
we don't feel as bad about taking those guys out.
Yeah.
I still feel a little bit bad. I don't know. I'm probably oversensitive.
I read that the Asian hornets are like bullies to bees.
Yeah.
And will hover outside of their beehive
Yeah.
and then kill the bee so that they can go in
Yeah.
and get the honey, which is kind of rude.
So that makes us feel maybe a little bit better about
I don't know.
our bee genocide or our wasp genocide. So again, what I did, I took the stick, we knocked it down. Now we didn't put chemicals on them. We're just trying to get them to move. They all fly, so we thought this is fair. You guys can go somewhere else.
Go make one in the tree.
So I've tried to knock it down about 4 or 5 times. Haven't been stung yet, but they continue to hold on, and so I'm afraid I have to get the chemicals out, and we'll.
I don't think there's much left.
Yeah, we're going to give them a spray the last few just so that they go away. So there's definitely some stuff like that with a big place like this.
You just never know.
Nah, and then again, the birds and the bees. The birds are making nests underneath the terrace and in the train station.
Yes.
You got attacked.
My goodness, I didn't know they'd moved on. Not that I'm sad that they're not upstairs.
Oh, they're still there.
Well, there's some that are still
their
there.
friends.
But
Yeah.
they're branching out.
Yeah.
So it's in the train station. It's one of the little buildings that was a train station. And we have some nice beams in there, and they quite like them.
Yeah.
Apparently as well.
So
They got good taste.
Every once in a while I get depressed because I look at all the lists of things we have to do, and I feel like we're not moving fast enough. We're not getting very much done. And then the beauty of these videos, though, is I went back and watched one just from a month and a half ago, and I was like, we didn't have a dishwasher back then? I'm like, we didn't have working stoves? And then suddenly I'm like, okay, all right, we're making some progress. Sometimes it feels slow. Mm-hmm. But there's lots of things we're doing.
It's true. Yeah. So we had another interesting visitor, this time human.
Yeah.
And Rob was working outside, and a nice man came up to him and started talking to him. He knew a little bit of English. We know a little bit of French. And between the two, set up a meeting. There's a kind of like we'd call a fair.
It's a comise.
Maybe at home
hopefully we're saying that correctly.
They call it a comise, and I think it's kind of like a harvest fair.
Yeah, it's like an agricultural kind of get-together. Not a rodeo, but just sort of an end-of-the-year party, apparently. And so it's super nice. They asked to have a meeting.
For our village.
Yes.
Eschmire.
Right.
Yes.
Beaujais has one, and it rotates areas, and every 10 years, Eschmire gets a chance. And so it's our chance, and so the town is going real hard, and these guys are working super hard. Yeah. And in fact, so when they came in the morning, and 4 of them showed up, 4 of them from the committee, all very nice folks. I've lived in town for a while, and one was a translator, so that was wonderful. And very nicely, they asked if it would be possible, as part of one of the events, to have a walk on the grounds and around town, but also come onto our grounds.
They do different hikes of different kilometer lengths.
So it was wonderful to get to know them, and they're going to do that, and we could not be more pleased.
Yeah.
And one of the things I said to them was that really this chateau belongs to France. It belongs to Eschmire and Beaujais. It's we're custodians, and we realize we're only here for a certain amount of time, and so it needs to serve the people. And even this is really small. I wish I wish we could do more to support this event, but this is what they asked for, and we said yes, and we're very excited.
Yeah,
It'll be fun to see it happen.
Yeah. So when I'm out and about and we have time to pop into one of these little consignment stores or Goodwill kind of stores, I'm always on the hunt for certain things in my mind that we need in the house. One of those things has been some kind of coffee table for the living room without paying an arm and a leg and have it be sort of interesting. We found a coffee table. So there's a table I saw in the window of a little store in our town nearby that I've passed for months now, and either it's always closed or we're busy. And I thought, let's chance it today and see if it might be open, and it was. And it was still in the window, and I got a good deal.
How much was it?
It was €40. So not bad for a coffee table. I've seen the same kind of table for much more in some of the other depot vents. Now here's the thing. They sometimes, I've heard, back in the day, they would lacquer the Carrara marble, probably to keep it good. However, there was bunches of it that was gone, and I'm continuing the process. So who knew an offset spatula could be your tool for this? But so far, it's working really well.
It looks fantastic.
It does. You got the beautiful marble seeing the light of day.
It's great, and that's not the only project you worked on.
So remember, we had found that cool metal iron piece in the stables, primed it, painted it. Rob hung it, our little sign that we had made back in North America, and we trotted it out a little ways down the driveway, and I think we'll make a nice little spot. I don't know if that's going to happen right now. But eventually, I will make a nice little flower bed around it.
Yeah, right now it's just sitting out, and that's going to be fine for now. Eventually, it'll look nice. But while we're out there, we looked over at the neighbor's corn. Oh my goodness! Here's Leslie for scale. Look at that. It looks like we're gonna have some corn. So we're trying to figure out who owns it, so we can see if we can give them $10 to buy a few. Just to buy, so we can go pick them. That'd be fun if they let us.
It might rival Tabor corn in Alberta.
Yeah, those of you Canadians. I'm just saying. So, anyways, tons of fun. So another project we thought we'd knock off when our friends are here is pressure washing. A number of you have commented on the videos that the steps, might do well pressure washed, and we were nervous to pressure wash. Were you nervous to pressure wash the steps?
Well, we can't pressure wash the side pieces because I'm pretty sure that's too faux, like the marble. But the steps have been sort of a 50-50.
Yeah, too faux. Of course, if you rub it, it starts to come off, and so you certainly can't be directing high, pressured water at it. Mm-hmm. That would be a nightmare. But we decided to get a pressure washer, and we gave it a try, and we put it on the steps. And I thought it was just ugly concrete, but you think maybe.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
I don't know yet. We'll find out whether
it's marble.
Whether it's stone. Well, then we shouldn't be doing it if that's the case. Yeah. I think it just might be some kind of stone. I'm not sure. It's not too faux, I don't think.
No, it's definitely not too faux, but it's kind of a white stone, and it looks fantastic. So even the little parts we've done, night and day, the darkness to the white. So we'll get a video of that next week. That'll be quite fun.
Can't wait to see it clean.
Excited.
It'll match the house.
A number of you have been wondered about what happens when we leave the chateau. Do we rent it out? Or do we have people come stay? Some of you are worried for the security, and with good reason. It's a big house. There's always crime and things like that. But honestly, we're more worried about the wind and the rain and gravity. And so we've got a pretty good plan in place this year. We've had very good conversations with some folks that are close to us about staying in the chateau while we're gone, which is an ideal situation because then they can watch out for things. We're also installing security cameras. We have some security cameras on the property, and so that's just kind of a nice peace of mind for us to be able to notify if somebody comes on. Yeah. And we're going to bring in some local folks to come in and clean and check in on a regular basis. So between all of those things, we're feeling pretty good about it. We will not be gone long. We'll be back out here soon.
So we also did some more painting in the foyer. It never ends, but I think we're finally getting there.
Yeah, now you were saying that the foyer is quite important.
It is. It's first impressions. As soon as someone walks in your house, that is how they feel. Do they feel welcome? Do they feel scared? Whatever. This is your time to make someone feel welcome.
And those doors that you were just looking at, you've painted 16 doorways that are 12 feet high, 6-7 feet wide, and 3 different colors edged all over the place.
Yeah, they take a while. There's no question.
Yeah, and yet this was the last little sort of area in the foyer we hadn't got to. It was sort of going up the stairs, and somebody at one point had just sort of covered some of the holes with primer, and it was just a temporary fix, no doubt. Now, it wasn't this bad. This is after I scraped, but it bothered me every time I went up the stairs, so I was pretty happy to get to it today.
It is going to look
this
great.
Week.
Yes.
Yeah, so here it is primed. There's a couple unique challenges. This pillar is definitely a challenge. The lower part's not so bad, but when you get up to the top, it's really hard to get a ladder up there. And so to get around that little corner is tricky. You can lean it one way or the other, but you can't go directly there because of the stairs. And then you've got this little crevice, maybe 2 centimeters wide and 3 deep. How do you paint 2 different colors on each side of that? It's super tricky.
That was okay. We figured it out.
Yeah, we got her done more or less. Don't look too closely. Yeah, this is with it primed, and eventually we're gonna have to get up there too. That's gonna be tricky. So a good thick coat of prime and a half, and then a good coat of paint. Just one coat is all we needed this time.
Well, you double primed.
Yeah. So and of course we filled and sanded. So here it is done, I believe, and I guess you can't tell too when you're so far back. But it looks significantly better.
Oh my goodness, it just isn't splotchy.
Oh, no, there it is. There's the final shot. Yeah, and that was maybe primed the last one.
Yeah, because I was wondering. I'm thinking that's not the right.
Yeah, you're right. No, here it is. Much nicer to go up the stairs too. Also, since France is instituting a pass sanitaire and it's hard for foreigners to get them, we thought we better get out and do some eating. So we tried to get some of the restaurants in town, and I just love the formula meals.
I know. And look at this food, you guys. This is from our little village.
These are $13 meals.
In our town. So the formula meal contains 3 separate sections. An entree, which is the appetizer, the plat, which is your main dish, and then dessert. They also come with drinks, and usually 13 to 15 euro for lunchtime.
Yeah, one of the places was 20 we spent, but most of them are about $13, and again, incredible. Like, so basically everything you'd see there, that was 4, I guess. So 3 of those would be $13 plus the coffee and the vin. So an outrageous deal. This needs to come to America.
I don't know why it hasn't yet.
It needs to come to America. And I know I've said this before in the videos, but what they do is they just say we're not gonna cook 17 things for you. We got 1 or 2, and you can choose 1 or 2 of them. And in
each category there'll be a couple choices.
Yeah. And so you take your chance, and you know what? You grow as a person trying some new things, and it's always amazing.
And as always in France, it's just so lovely because everything's fresh in whatever season you're in. They really care about the produce, and you just eat healthier this way.
Yeah. Anyways, bon appetit. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the week. We painted some walls, changed out some toilets, got some nice pieces from Brocons, put up some of our new little sconces, more coming along. So, small step by small step, we're continuing to move forward. Looking forward to a big week next week.